Alright, just setting things up here. I need to find the link to the stream. Where is that? I guess I can. Yeah, like this should be fine. And I'm just gonna share this here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So let's start again. Yeah. We're in the middle of adding a bunch of sound effects, and we have this throw rock sound. And yeah, we added this play sound at timer. So we need to look at that. We need to remove this make rock sound. And here we have spawn rock at. So here we actually want to play maybe the attack sound. Yeah. But I also want to check if attack type is throw. Yeah. But I also want to check attack type is throw, and if the type throw play sound at, well, if t is more than or equal to that, then we want to play the sound. But then I guess we also want to play, or we want to have a flag that doesn't play the sound again. So I guess what we could do is we could use the has played sound. So flag. So this is going to be attack has played sound, so if it's not has played sound, and then we have to set that to true. Okay. Yeah, this code, I mean, it's a little bit hard to look at, but yeah, that's just how it is right now. So now we should play a sound when they make the rock, and also when they actually launch the rock. Okay. Let's start the controller here. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Man, the sound effects are really like super old school. But yeah, at least they are there. Oh yeah, one thing that I was wanting to do. So okay, so we did that. Now one thing that I wanted to do was the landing thing. So we could just do this. We have to modify the game engine a little bit, which is in another project. So I have to go to the other project here, and then we have to go to. Let's go to the physics system, and we will look for this collision. This is where we store all information about the collisions. So we have normal and depth, so that's not enough to get like the actual velocity when the thing took place. So maybe we could just store the velocity of the corresponding bodies. So we could store velocity A and velocity B, and that should be enough. I would have to like calculate sort of. Well, is that enough? You would have to calculate. So you know they collided, right? But how much did they collide by? And so don't you need to know the positions as well? Or do we just calculate that and give that back here, like force, like, or I don't know, collision energy, or I don't know what to call it really. How much energy was transferred during the collision is sort of, I don't know. Let's just call it energy transferred. I don't know if this is a good way to do it, but probably a really bad name, because next time you're gonna go in here, you're gonna wonder like, what does that mean? Maybe. I don't know. Let's try it and see. Yeah, so now we need to fill that out. And so we've got these intersections. Oh yeah, so we actually need to add it to intersection as well, I guess. Or do we? No. Actually, do we even calculate anything regarding this here? The only thing we have is like normal and depth. We don't really calculate anything to do with the velocities here. We sort of do, yeah, where we are doing it is actually in the resolution of the collision, and that happens before we actually look at the collision itself. So we could just say that this is going to be undefined until we have solved the resolution step, and once we have that, then we have that information. So what we could do is we could say energy transfer is undefined, and then when we do the resolution we fill that in. So we go to we go here and resolve. Yeah, here we have resolve collision. So we're going in here and we're calculating a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, here's where we calculate all the things we need to resolve the collision. Now I'm not like a physics student or anything, and there was some times where since I've been in here, and yeah, I basically followed a tutorial or a series that implemented a physics engine for this. So I'm not really an expert, but I've got something that sort of works, at least at a sort of rudimentary level here. And let's see, now what are we looking at here? So we need to figure out the collision. Actually, we need to modify the collision also. So let's make this mutable, and let's make this mutable as well. Wait, yeah, and then this needs to be mutable. Alright, and that's fine. Yeah, okay. Alright, so what are we looking at here? We got our velocities A and B, and the positions and mass and stuff. We have relative velocity. Yeah, here we're checking for static, which, yeah. So basically, if something is static, that means it's got like infinite mass, and there are some like constellations here, like body A could be static and body B could be not, body B could be static and body A could be not. But I think, yeah, this one, yeah. So this is like sort of the energy transfer here. You're setting the velocity of body A to this resolution. So this is the calculation that calculates sort of the energy transfer from body B to body A, and vice versa here. Then, yeah, and then we also adjust the position to sort of not have them sort of overlap, but they will be colliding and adjusting the position so that they are like not overlapping, as I just said. Yeah. So yeah, so this shouldn't be anything that we need to look at. It should probably be something here. Now this part, the J, yeah, it's like part of this calculation. So you can say J is sort of like the amount of energy maybe, and then that is like divided by mass. Okay. So I think, but this is like, this is the resolution that, or this is the velocity that body A is going to end up with. So it's not really sort of the amount of energy. So I'm thinking maybe, yeah, it's gonna be this J here, I think, that we're gonna look at. And this one is just a scalar, I think. Yeah, it's a scalar. So I think if we just, maybe energy transfer is this. So let's populate that. It has the name J, so it's I mean, it's just a random. I don't know. It feels like that's random, but it might be stand for joule actually. I don't know, which is some energy form. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not an expert here, but let's actually put that there, and then we can see. So let's go back to our collision detection. So now we have this. I'm fairly sure we can use this as a check for that. So let's push this up here. Collisions. Wait. No. That's fine. Yeah. Collisions. Actually, I want to do something also. I want to test running the example here so that we don't fail anything. Yeah, and we do get some stuff here. So let's go to ABB 53. Oh, so here we also have collision. Right. Right, I think this is for the more fine-grained collision detection. This, I'm also gonna set energy transfer to undefined here, because it's not really part of this. It's gonna. This is not. Yeah, it's not part of this here. It's gonna be like at the resolution step, and this is the same thing here. Maybe we should just set those to undefined and have like a bool that says like, oh, is this resolved or not? I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna check something here. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry. Okay, so no more compile errors. So let's try and run this and see. Yeah, so here you can see this example test here. Yeah, so it works. So let's push this up, and I need to grab this. Okay. So now that should be done, and then we go back to the game and we can do this to update the package. Wait, that was the wrong thing. Oh, we need to uninstall this now. This I don't want to have. Alright, so now let's go back to the game code here, and we can do We can go to initial scene. Where are we doing this land thing? Here. So we also here want to check if the collision energy transferred is up. I guess it's above a certain number. So what we are going to do, I'm just gonna put some random stuff here, and then I'll debug here, and I will just paste it in here to see what it's gonna be. Actually, we'll put it in here, and we'll remove this. So we'll do a couple of tests to see what it says. So we'll do like a heavy fall and some less heavier falls. Okay. So let's see. This should definitely be there. So one there, but that should not. So let's check what that was there. Oops, do we have some memory leaks? Okay, so interesting. It's always the same. Well, okay, I guess because it's a static collision, maybe that's why it's always like ends up at the same thing. Interesting. Maybe that's the issue. But what's going on here? We have a memory leak or something. Yeah. And it's what? Entities to destroy. Destroy on touch. Here. So this thing we need to get the allocator. And we need to free this. Okay. What now? Access of union for what? Access of union pointer while field struct is active. Free. Okay, something is wrong with this then. Oh wait, we don't need to do this. We do deinitialize. Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right. And now, what else? Okay, so we still need to fix this. Okay, so we need to figure out the collision stuff. So let's go back to here, and it's in resolve. Yes. So yeah, if something is static, that means the mass is infinite, and I think we also actually check that somewhere. So, but here we're just returning volume times density. Oh, maybe we set density to infinite. No. Or maybe we do that for the ground. Only. Okay, we don't really set that here to int. Okay. I thought we did something about that, but so we do have mass A, mass B, and we do look for infinite mass here. So if mass A is infinite, then we basically skips our calculations because it's not needed. Yeah, this part here is the actual like sort of calculation that we're doing. I think what we'll do is just gonna be instead of doing this weird thing, let's just do velocity. So I think if we do velocity A and velocity B, what we can do in that case is check, okay, which body is the player, and then we look at the velocity of that of the player, and then we look at just the Y component. So if the Y component is more than some value, some threshold, then we play the land sound, otherwise we don't. So we don't need to math ourselves here with this. We simply maybe we can even populate this before this. Well, let's actually populate it here just for convenience, because this is where we actually do anything with this velocity here. So this is gonna be velocity A is going to be VA, and velocity B is gonna be all right. And now let's try and run the example project. Okay, of course we get some errors here. Yes. And I think what I'll do is I will just set this to 0. And we will search for energy transferred through this. All right. Yeah, and then we try the example again. Yeah, so that works. Okay, let's add this again. So this would be replaced energy transferred with velocities. Oh yeah, I need to do this. And now we can go to back here, and we should have energy. Yeah. So let's do velocity Y now instead. So let's see, non-static is whatever body is not static there, and we also want non-static velocity, and it's going to be the same thing there, and except it's going to be velocity B and velocity A. Alright, and then this is going to be velocity. No, this is going to be non-static velocity. And it's going to be the Y component of that. Okay. Alright, so now we can actually log that out and see whatever that will be. So that one would become, and this last one won't. So we got 3 different sort of measurements. Oh, right, the 0. Did I do the wrong thing? No. That should be correct. Let's go into here again. No, was it resolve collision? Velocity A is velocity B, or velocity A is velocity A, velocity B is velocity B. Huh. Interesting. So, is it getting in there on the second collision then? Maybe. Okay, let's go back to the game code. So it might be that it goes in there the second time then. Let's put it out there. It's gonna be spammed, I think, but yeah, let's see. No. Okay. It's always 0. Okay, 1 second, I got a call here. Excuse me. Now we're back. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, so I'm thinking maybe we should just put down, well, let's do this, and, well, just to be sure, let's check the velocity of both bodies here. So let's do velocity A, and velocity B, and we'll skip this, and we will do collision velocity A, collision velocity B. And next step is I'm gonna put logs in the collision part as well, the resolution step. What's this? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Let's just try that. Okay, they're both 0. So, yeah. Very interesting. Should we put that also up here? Because... I mean, they shouldn't really be... Well, let's put it here just to be safe. Let's actually do if velocity A is not equal to 0 or velocity B is not equal to 0, then we do the log. Wait. Why does it say 0? Oh, because I'm looking at the Y position. Oh, okay, yeah. Understood. Yeah. It's just the Y. There. Alright, I mean, we should have gotten something because did play. Where is it? No? Okay. Wait, where is it? Oh, because it never was other than 0. Okay. Very interesting. So, let's see what the collision part is doing here. So it's very strange if both of these are gonna be 0. That doesn't really make sense to me. So let's just log this out and see what this would say. Because definitely this function that gets called, right? Yeah. Okay. Because now this is a vector. So when we do this, it's gonna copy the contents of this vector onto this vector, if I'm understanding it correct. It's not gonna like set it to some pointer or anything. It's gonna copy the contents of the vector to this vector. And yeah, so let's just see what this says here. And then let's also, so this is like before resolution, and then here after resolution. Okay. We don't have no quick return or anything here. Yeah. And that we're actually modifying the collision itself. And then once that is done, let me just check this whole journey here. So we're grabbing things in this list, or this is a buffer actually, and then we are taking the source there. We are checking if it's enabled for that group. We are resolving that collision. So that means we're actually modifying the source, which is in this thing. Oh, you know what? That might be the issue actually, because we have two different lists of these collisions, which is kind of overkill. Well, it's okay. I think I see the issue. So the issue is that we have, I don't know why I did it like this, but we have two different lists of the collision. So we have pending collisions and collision events, and pending collisions are, and that's just for the resolving collisions. And then we have collision events, which is for pulling the events from outside later. But I don't think that's even necessary to have. I don't know why I put it in two different things. I think I thought that there was gonna be some sort of consistency thing with I don't know, like the number of collision events. Like this one, it's just they do the same thing. Let's see. So let's see what's happening here. So yeah, update collision. So depending on what like algorithm we're using this one. So it's really this one is like the one that we're interested in, and we're doing collisions here. So we're getting a list of these collisions here, and then we are emitting to both of these things. But yeah, and both of those just puts it in the same sort of list. So at this point, we're gonna have the exact same state on both of those lists. And then we do resolve collisions, which will empty the number of pending collisions to 0. But we really don't need to do that. We don't really need to keep track of that, because we're not gonna call resolve collisions again. So we don't really need to like reset this thing or whatever. What we can do is we can remove this, and we'll remove that, and we will just call this collision events as well, right? And I will not call this, we just call emit pending collision, or we could, I mean, we could, it's not really emitting the event straight away, but so it's kind of a bad name, but I guess it's like a pending event. It can be pulled. It's like an event that's gonna wait for someone to pull it. So let's also number of collision events, I guess. All right. Now we're looking at this one instead. So great. And then we have two things here. Okay, I'm just gonna search for pending here. We don't find anything. Okay, so and then we do poll events or poll collisions, and this one is gonna look at collision events. So here is where we actually want to set this to 0, because if we call poll collisions and there are no collisions left, we actually want, yeah, this is like consuming sort of the collisions that we have. But when we do resolve collisions, we don't want to set this to 0, because we're not actually consuming them. We're just, yeah, we do this step here. Okay, now I think that was the actual issue here. So yeah, so we don't I don't think we need to like log this or anything. Let's just remove that log there. Okay, and let's do the check again. Okay, yeah, so that works. Okay, let's push this up here. Merge pending collisions and collision events. Okay, so let's go to game code again. And now we can go to back to on collision. Right, so now we can get this back, and I think we'll move this over here. So we'll do the same thing we did again. Velocity, and let's do for now non-static velocity. Okay, now I believe we should get some real measurements here. 1, 2, and then let's do some small jumps as well. No? Okay. Why? Oh, sorry. I never actually updated this, so we need to fetch the latest here. Okay, yeah. There we go. Let's try it again. So yeah, so I pushed it to GitHub, and then I need to update in this project the new update there. Okay, I need to restart here. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Now we get some real measurements here. Okay, cool. And we get the first one here, so as well, which is like, yeah, just because how our spawning thing is there. We spawn in at sort of elevation, and that's why we get the first one. Okay, so these are these like, I don't remember us doing that many jumps here, but I think, yeah, we did. These two are very large, but let's just set a threshold, I guess. Actually, I want to test this again, so let's do this. One large, so you can see, and then a couple of small ones, and then one large. So that was like 3 or 4 small ones. So here we can see, here's the first large one, and then, wait, this doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm not sure why we get this. It might be the restitution or something that makes us bounce a bit. But let's make, I guess we can just say over 100 maybe. So let's do, and the y component of non-static velocity should be more than 100. Then we play the land sound. So it's basically just to prevent the landing sound to play every time. Okay, so now it plays. Maybe 100 was too much, I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, okay, let's try 75. Wait, it fell. Wait, now it should definitely play the sound. Why is it not playing now? Okay, let's log it out again. Wait, it should just be when it should only be when this happens here. Okay. It plays the first time, but then it stops. Yeah, now I get the like both of these. So okay, the velocity y 146. So it plays the first time, but then it gets like very weird. How is it really that inconsistent? Okay, my guess is that this could have something to do with the physics sub-steps. Maybe. Here you see like 800, but other times it was way larger or smaller, I guess. Let me just double check here. Let's go to the thing here again. So in the physics engine, we have a thing where, yeah, number of times. So in the update for the physics system, sorry. In the update for the physics system, we have several sub-steps because of that gives like increased precision in the physics simulation. So what's happening is that we do these sub-steps, and in each sub-step we update and resolve collisions. That's right. So whenever we get to the actual collisions that we have, there might have been multiple things happening, sort of like the bounce thing. So when we do resolve now, that might actually not be correct. I think we need like a separate thing for resolve. Like a separate counter that counts how many we have resolved. And here we need to go from number of resolved collisions to number of collision events again, and then at the end we set number of resolved collisions to number of collision events. Oops. Okay. So that means each step we're not like resolving old collisions again. Alright. I'm not sure if that actually does anything though. It's just, yeah, we prevent old collisions from being resolved here. And then when we emit pending events, we actually emit maybe more than 2 collision events per group of, like, per pair of bodies, because they could be like have some sort of restitution. I think that's what we see actually. There's a restitution and you get a little bounce that's happening, so it goes like, well, maybe that's what's happening, I'm not sure actually. Well, that could be what's happening, because we are only recording like the frame where we actually touch the ground. So the frame before it could be negative, or the step before it could be like negative up, or going up and then down and up and down. So let's see. Well, this prevents re-resolving the same collisions. But the problem here is like, what is the issue really? Yeah, let's see if this solves it, because this kind of, what we had before is kind of overwriting the history a little bit of those collisions. Because it's writing over the collision events with the velocity that is currently in the physics simulation. So I think that was the actual issue. Let's see if we can run this. I'm just gonna run the example here. Oh, 0 FPS. Okay, something went horribly wrong here. Oh yeah, actually we need to set this to 0 somewhere. I think we need to set it to 0 after the update here. We can set it. No, we do it here. Yeah, so we reset that. But then we also need to make sure that we're polling. So I think we do it in the poll. So this method actually has to be called in order for the simulation to properly work. So because we need to reset the number of collision events and the result collision. I guess what we could do is whenever you do update again, we reset these as well. So I think it's bad that we actually have this. Let's remove this. This is obvious. Let's actually do this. Well, we want to do this also, but I want to copy this, or yeah. Let's in the update function, the first thing that could happen here as well is we gotta set these to 0. So then we prevent any weird things happening there. Okay, now let's see if we can run this. There we go. Okay, let's see collisions and stuff working here. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, we need to update again. And let's go here. Let's go back here. Okay, now let's see what this says. Restart. Okay, so we got a couple of small ones and a large one at the end there. So I think that's way more consistent here. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Now, let's see. So, yeah, now there's less difference here between small jumps and large ones. So, I think let's see what happens if we take, like, I don't know, above 500. Okay, so for small jumps we don't get anything anymore. But if we fall... So how high is this threshold? Like up there? So let's do this. Let's make that the actual threshold that I just did there. So about 600. Okay. So we're pretty close, I think. So let's just have this and we'll see how that feels. Okay. Nice. So we got that done. That was nice actually. So we did, yeah, so this one and we did this one. Okay, nice. All right, so we have these stray ones that we left earlier, or the last stream. Prevent spawn, yeah. So I think this one is like, the more I think about it, the more I think about, okay, I'm gonna try and think about different kinds of monsters instead. Like, should we add, I want to try adding like a more simple monster that doesn't really do all the things that our monster is doing. Our monster is like doing 2 different attacks or 3 different attacks, and it can jump and walk around. So I'm thinking like more a simple sort of monster. That's gonna be like the intro monster sort of. And I mean, yeah, and I guess a couple of variations as well. I mean, a couple of more like simple monsters that we're gonna deal with. But I need to work on that off stream. And yeah, we have the shield block particle effect. We don't really have a graphic for that. So, and we don't really have a particle system. I'm not sure, like, graphics wise, if we want to keep it like this 8-bit style and keep it like, you know, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, if it's gonna be sort of true to like old retro style, or if it's gonna be like incorporating modern stuff like dynamic lighting, normal maps and stuff, and lighting and particle effects and stuff like that, or if it's just gonna be, you know, have this very old sort of retro style or feel to it. I guess we can put some extra done. So yeah, now I really need to figure out like what to do. We have a couple of bugs that we can tackle, I guess. We have like the 2 combo attack. Could it be a little bit tighter? I don't know. And we also have this like combo system, or this like yeah, now I have to walk back, or I can just restart. Let's head to and also the graphical styles are kind of clashing right now. Like I've removed sort of the black outline on the player, but it remains on the monster. So I should really like fix that as well and unify the graphics. And I'm not really happy with the graphics here as well. I really need to work on that, but I don't think that's gonna be like a huge priority right now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this as it is, and I'm gonna redo the graphics in the future. But I want to get like the gameplay down, and sort of the first area down with like different monsters and sort of build out the content and sort of the gameplay before I like do any of that, because I feel like that's gonna be that's not really putting focus on where it needs to be right now. So but it's nice to have a couple of sounds, so it gets more like the kind of feel that, I mean, I guess it gives more like a feel, but it's not really it's not really complete, I should say. Wow, and my FPS actually got way up. Actually, you know what? Maybe that resolved collision thing actually was a kind of FPS bottleneck, because now I'm getting like steady almost max FPS here. It goes down here because we have a lot of entities here with the... Well, you can't really see it now. Oh, it crashed when I tried to enable drawing the collision boxes. Interesting. Out of bounds. In this. Okay, in the draw system. Okay. Let's see. Are there too many entities? That feels strange. Well, let's see what's happening. So it's gonna be draw collision boxes. Which, wait, where is that? Here. Well, that's one place. Well, let's see. Yeah, it has to be in there. So draw shape. We have 2 places where that is called, but this is from here. Okay, so the first one. And then we go to draw rectangle. And what's happening in here? That's a problem. 381. Okay. So apparently it doesn't find the collision container. It says index out of bounds. Is it this one? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it says that it's that one. So we don't... This is weird. We should have that. Yeah. Because without the collision container, nothing would work really. This is where we keep, this is like where we do all the collision stuff. What? Did something happen? Let's see, the physics system. So yeah, here we add the physics system. And when we do that, I think we also add the collision container. Yes. And we add an entity. Wait, we add it as an entity. Oh, I think this is before I knew about singletons. Okay. This makes sense because, well, it doesn't actually make sense because I think like the collisions happen through this, or maybe they'll actually happen. Wait, I'm confused. We're adding a collision container, and then in the draw system we use it only when we're drawing collision boxes. We're checking here if tree is entering tree, but when are we actually... Oh, because we have this view, that's right. So do we have that in the physics system as well? Well, we have the collision container. Oh, I guess we create the collision container and then we actually have a pointer to it. But then here it's... Okay, so I think, yeah, I need to fix this. So I need to go into here and I go into physics. So what we need to do is... So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make the collision container available everywhere that has the registry. And since there's only going to be one collision container, we don't really need to do it like this. This adds a new entity and adds collision container as a component to that entity. Now what you can do instead is use singletons. So you would say singletons add, and then you can add the collision container like this. Also this one also uses registry. Oh, it adds a view and stuff. Okay. Yeah, so now we've had that added. We don't need to do any of this stuff. And, well, what we do need is we need this one. However, that one is going to be .singletons.get this. Alright. So now we basically have the same thing, except we're not storing it as an entity. Because when we do a scene transition, we actually remove all entities. So that removed the collision container as well, which is bad. So we want to add this collision container as a singleton. That way we don't remove that. We only remove like the contents of it when we do stuff. So in here we have a tree, but this tree is getting regenerated each frame, so it's not really something that stays around either. So it's basically not really something that we actually need to keep around. It's just if the draw system wants to have access to the tree, it can have that through this singleton as well. So now once we have this, we can go to the draw system and we can go to the whatever collision container here. And we don't really need this view now since we can use singletons. Okay. And let's look for references to this one now. So we don't need this. This is gonna be register singletons get collision container. So that's gonna be the same thing. And then this is also gonna be the same thing here. There. All right. Now let's see if we can run this. All right. Yep. Okay, cool. So now let's update this again. Move collision container to singleton. Oh yeah, we need to update this again. And let's go back. Where were we? Whoops, not here. Yeah, I think we just need to test this now. All right. So let's go back and forth, and then we enable collision boxes. And there you can see, now we get all the collision boxes here. So as you can see, there are a lot of collision boxes in this level or whatever, in this section here. And yeah, that's what drags the FPS down. But I think that, I mean, that little thing we did with resolve collision really bumped up FPS a lot. Okay, it kind of restored my faith in the physics engine. Okay, nice. Actually, one thing that I noticed, okay, so here you can see sort of the boundary of the physics of the quad tree. And you can see all, it's getting regenerated each frame, and you can see where sort of the entities are. And if you go over here, yeah, I was afraid that the boundary was actually not covering the whole screen, but it actually is covering the whole level, which I implemented in another video, and I actually didn't remember that, because I thought that because I saw like a blue line only in the middle, I thought that, oh, is it only being covering the bottom of the screen or something? But it seems to work. All right. Yeah, it's so funny to me that the sounds that I didn't spend too much time on it, but I spent a little bit of time to make the sounds, to make them at least recognizable as like sounds, to sort of what they're trying to convey. But to me it sounded, wow, this sounds kind of cool, and then when you actually implement it and you try it out, and it sounds, yeah, it doesn't sound as good as I made in my head when I actually made them. And that's kind of interesting to me. Yeah. Okay, Yeah, I'm just getting like a feel for the gameplay a little bit. What? Okay, that was weird. Okay, so there's a little bit of a weird thing going on there. I think that you can start an attack and then still get hurt. I'm guessing because we are handling the input, like handle input. We're handling input, then we are. So that will change the player state to attack. But then we have the monster AI, damage on touch, which will change the state to hurt, or it will add like pending damage to the player. And then down here we are changing the state to hurt from attack. But in between here, no, and then we update animation. So why would we see an attack animation go off in that case? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to that it would set the animation and change the state in the same frame like multiple times. Okay, I don't know. That would be if that's a bug, then we have to look that into that. But okay, so let's see, what can we do here? I need to figure out what to do now. So I'm not gonna do shield block particle stuff, and then we basically have everything that I written down from like small things that I wanted to fix. Let's see if we can do something here. So like we have the NPCs, graphics, dialogue, idle animations, walking around. We don't really have anything to do this because I don't have like animations for it. I mean, I guess you could make the actual logic and not have the animations so that they actually walk around and stuff. We have like different areas. Yeah, we did a little bit on the monster like AI, but that's the thing. The monster still feels like you can just walk up to it and spam it, and it will be defeated very easily. We did the transition scene, so that works nice. Yeah, we don't have anything here yet, anything that we can do. We do have this fixed update function, so this is probably like an important thing that we need to deal with. And we also have this one, so update sig to 0.14, but I actually think I want to do this because I've actually updated my stance on this because last time we discussed this, I actually thought that I can deal with 0.13 until the end of this project and then use 0.14 or whatever is released then in a new project. But I think that if it's gonna be a long-running project and I'm making videos and stuff about it, then people are gonna be interested in the latest SIG and not some old version. So I think that it makes a lot of sense for me to upgrade to the latest version, and it's probably not gonna be that difficult to do. So, and it's going to be a couple of quality of life changes and some nice stuff as well. But I think I can do it now. It's just that I probably want to wait for at least 0.14.1 to just have some more stability. And I mean, yeah. And then there was the issue with the new compiler, which I probably cannot use yet since I'm using vectors in the physics engine, and the new version apparently doesn't have vector support for the new compiler yet. Or it has, but it's like bad performance or something. Which probably may not be an issue, but yeah. I'm not in a rush to update it right now, but I do want to update it once maybe the next version is released. Let's see. Yeah, and then we have some bugs here. Able to draw collision box on top of time map. So this is like, I think we already kind of do this, or maybe we don't actually. Maybe we don't, because the collision boxes are actually drawn. If we go to game engine again, we go to the draw system. So the draw system draws collision boxes in the same like layered manner as the layers themselves. So all entities are drawn in sort of layers. And the lower the layer number, if you're drawn at layer 0, you're drawn first. If you're drawn at layer 1, you're drawn second. And then we also draw these collision boxes at the same time. So that means that the collision boxes will be like hidden behind things that are drawn on top of that. So what I want to do is, I don't want to draw collision boxes at the same time. I want to draw them at the end. So let's remove this, and we will remove this as well. And then we have an if here, which is yeah, we have this if here. Oops. And now we need to loop through all of the entities that has what is it? Do we have a sort of view for this? Texture view. So this one, but we don't, so we might not actually have a draw component. I want to have for texture and rigid body. I guess we could just construct the view here. So we will have a view. This will be for texture component and rigid body, and we don't have any excludes. Okay, so that's our view. Then we can do an entity iterator, which we can iterate through, and then I'm just gonna double check here. This needs view to be mutable, so let's do that. And let's call this like show collision boxes iterator. Okay. Now let's move this in here, and we need a body, so let's grab that. View get rigid body. Oh, we don't actually need the, well, we don't actually need the texture component here. We just need the rigid body, right? So do we have that? Yeah, we do have the body view. So let's just use that then. Wait, where is it? Here. Okay, so we don't need this. We don't need this. Well, we need this. So this is going to be body view, entity iterator. Okay, and then we can say self body view get, and we just have to pass the entity now. So actually, we can just do a for loop now, because we have this very simple thing. And we just need the body, so we can do raw, and we get the body out here. Okay, there we go. Oh, and this needs a mutable. Okay. Now the collision boxes should all be drawn there. Yes. So let's see if that works. Whoops. Oh yeah, now I need to also change. Let's just run this example to see if it actually compiles and runs. Yes. And I need to update this again. So collision boxes are drawn on top of everything. Okay. And let's start this now and see how it looks. Okay, I need to fix that issue as well. Yeah, so we have this. Yeah, so the collision boxes are drawn, but let's go to where we have some foreground in the city or the village area. Here. And yeah, you can see the collision boxes are drawn like on top of this thing, which is currently drawn in the foreground for some reason. Yeah, so that works. So that fixes that issue. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and we do have this issue as well. So what you saw there when we first started the program, there's a bit of delay, which causes the physics system to sort of buffer up the delta time to be several seconds or something, which causes the physics system, the physics simulation to be wrong, basically. So I need to figure out a way to solve that. I think while that is happening, the game should actually be paused and not like running with some weird delta time. So maybe we should just set the delta time to be like, I don't know, max it. Or minute. So it should have some sort of maximum, maybe. I think I'll need to actually look into that and come up with a solution. I don't think I can just fix it like that, like hackily. It might crop up some more issues in the future if I do it like that. I think I'll actually research this off stream here. Yeah, and then we also have this particle hit. Monster particle hits spawn in the wrong position. As you can see here, for some reason they are spawned like, I mean, it looks okay, I guess, but it's still kind of weird. I guess it should really be at the point of like, it should really be offset, but it should be like where the player hits the monster, I guess, also. Also, this is kind of weird. It's like it should be aggroing now. Like, it feels like if you're standing in a certain position, it doesn't actually aggro you. Okay. But I'm a bit confused why this spawns in the wrong position, so that's that. I don't actually... Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that I can think of right now would be this... No. This part. Like, having a fixed update function and a non-fixed update function. So what does that mean? Well, the non-fixed update function is what we have now. And that's an update function that is basically called as soon as possible, as soon as the program or the game can process the next frame, it calls it again. So that's the non-fixed update function. It's constantly churning and running this update function, even though, let's say you fix the FPS at 60. Well, let's say you want to fix the FPS at 60. Then you have this fixed update function, which is going to be called every frame. And now the frame is 60 frames per second instead of like 1,000 frames per second. But you still want to have a non-fixed update function because of things like input. So you do want to have like the input, because in a non-fixed update function, because otherwise it will feel like you will like miss inputs if you don't have it. So yeah, that's why you want to have both a fixed update function and a non-fixed update function, which is running all the time, and then a fixed update function which only runs once every frame, I guess you can call it. Like, we're calling this frames now, but it's actually not the frames. It's actually like, you don't want to have like, I mean, yeah, it works for what it is now, but I think there's gonna be like some sort of issues in the future if we keep on using it like this. So I forget what it is right now, but I believe it will solve some issues with like the timing and stuff. So it might be like, you know, small things that doesn't really make sense, like small kind of physicsy things that happens that you don't really notice maybe, but once you add this, it just solves a lot of those weird small things that are happening. So I think I will do this actually, and the way that we are doing update now is basically we have this update in our... I think what I want to do actually is rename this initial scene. It's not actually a scene, it's sort of more like the game container or the game itself. Let's actually just call this game, because that's what it is. So let's do that. And wait, why does it say damage on touch? Oh, because it probably like imports this and then it... Okay. But this is not damage on touch, this is initial scene. Yes, thank you. Okay. Now let's go here. Oops. Here. and then we go to initial scene, and I want to rename you to game. And this is gonna trip me up for a long time, I think, but it's probably better to do it now than never, or later. And we'll search for anything called scene. I probably want to search for this and replace that with, well, this is going to be game, this is going to be, whoops, game. Okay, I'll just try and do this as quickly as I can here. There's a lot of functions to go through. Because I have something else called scene and I don't want to just replace it. Even though that's probably faster. I don't know. Let's just do it like this. We are 23% done. Oops. I have a sequence now that I'm trying to go through. So next, rename F2, Control W to remove, type game, enter, and N for next, F2, and F2, Control W, game. Oops. No. Oh, it disappeared. Whoops. Riveting stuff here. Yeah, so I really need to figure out a bunch of stuff that we can continue with. I need to make like a tile set for the new area. I need to make a bunch of like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do, but it's mostly, I guess for now, it's gonna be figuring out new monsters, making new graphics, making the levels, stuff like that right now. But then there's gonna be plenty of programming stuff to also do as well, with new monsters, new stuff there. All right, so let's see if we got some errors here. Yeah, this is gonna be game, and this is gonna be game, and we will call this game, gamer, no, game. All right, and this one is also gonna be game.sig. And same thing here. Oops. Come on. Whoops. I accidentally. Yeah, this is gonna trip me up for a long time. It's not called initial scene anymore, so I'm so used to calling it that. And scene, you know. Now the only scene here is when we load the actual scene from the file. Okay. What else? We have these containers which are called initial, so let's just call these game texture container, I guess. Okay. What else now? Let's see if we can start this now. Yeah. I think maybe one thing to actually make the monsters more difficult, because you can just stun lock them and kill them. Make it so that you actually can't stun lock them, so that when you hit them, they're actually not gonna be stun locked. They're gonna try and attack you or do whatever. So you attack and then, yeah, they might sort of we might have an effect on them. Instead of them having a hurt animation, they're gonna have like some sort of effect that happens or something to show that they're actually damaged. And then they can actually attack you immediately instead. I think we'll do that. So let's actually go to because yeah, we enabled it to game, and that's nice. Oh yeah, and yeah. So we were talking about doing the fixed update thing, but I do want to add that to a to-do here. So let's do that. Let's do monster stun, like remove monster stun when yeah, remove monster stun. Yeah, so let's go back to this. So we have this update function, and this function is called basically all the time. And there is a nice algorithm that handles fixed updates, but I'm not actually sure about that right now. I think what I'll do is I'll research this also off stream, and I will come up with a solution there, and I will show it when I have it. But let's do the monster thing now. So this would be, I think, in here. Yeah. Let's actually make this as a function. Let's do like spawn hurt particles. And we need to do all of this here. But now we have that named. Okay. And yeah, I guess we need the entity. And we need T. Body we can get. Oh, this is for knockback. So we could have another function called apply knockback. We might not need a registry for that though. But let's do this. Okay. So yeah, we need an entity. And we need player body and the body. So player body, is player body used? No, it's not used except for here, so we'll grab that. We need the player as well. Alright, and that was it. Here we are going to grab the body as well. Guess we can grab it down here. And what else? Yeah, so we do apply knockback. Is this included a check as well, right? No. I believe we had a check. Here. It's knockbackable. Yeah. Okay, so we never actually check on that. But yeah, let's add a check. Let's add that here. Okay, and then we also have spawn hit hurt particles. Okay. So this function is a little bit more manageable now. Okay. What did I came here for? What did I do? Why am I here? What's happening? Oh yeah, the monster's down. That's right. So the monster is hurt, but we don't want that to prevent the monster from doing stuff. So I don't think we actually need to set the state to hurt. Or we can just say that the hurt is like... No, the hurt doesn't actually stun the monster. If the monster is in the middle of attacking, you're not going to be able to attack it to stun it so that it doesn't hurt you. It's going to go ahead with its attack. And you can block it and continue attacking it, but it's still gonna continue to attack. I think that's what makes it more that could actually, yeah, increase the difficulty to a better stage. Okay, so I guess we will not do this. I mean, setting the animation, no, let's not actually set the animation either. Let's just play the sound. So now the monster basically, it cannot get hurt. You simply attack it. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Oh, we're spawning the hurt particles, I guess, all the time. I guess this had a condition which I removed. That's kind of funny. Why is like one of them going like in a direction like over there? That's weird. Is it spawning in a weird position so it gets like moved around? So, oh, because it's, okay, yeah, I think these needs to be in here. Yeah. If we have pending damage, we do these things. Otherwise, we don't do these things. Okay, so that's why. They were getting knockbacked. That was kind of funny. Okay, there we go. Now they are staying at there. Yeah, this feels way better as a challenge. I mean, you can still like sort of spam them, but I guess partly what makes Hollow Knight like the challenge more, I know I'm talking about Hollow Knight or not, but it's really like a nice standard to have. Well, it's relevant to this discussion. One thing that makes it like challenging is like when you do this knockback to the enemy, you actually have to like adjust yourself to be able to attack the enemy again. And sometimes the enemy gets more time to actually do the attack while you're doing that. So it's like yeah, so that makes it that also makes it like more difficult. Also, I feel like they could be smarter about throwing the rocks so that they don't just throw it up in the ceiling and nothing happens. Like they could have some sort of sensor that, okay, am I close to a ceiling? I might not. I probably don't want to use the throw attack. Yeah, so now, yeah, you see there, it didn't attack. So you have to be more. Yeah, and just jumping towards the player. I guess that works also. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I think the rock spawned in like this part and it disappeared. Yeah, so you can still sort of spam them to death at the start here. Or while they're spawning in, sort of. I think what I want to do is when you've hit them, they're gonna be instantly trying to attack you. So they're gonna instantly aggro you while you've done that. So I think here if we have pending damage, they're going to be instantly attracted and trying to kill you here, I think. Or actually, wait. No, while they're spawning in, actually, could we like this? Maybe we can disable being able to attack or hurt them while they're spawning. I don't know if that's a good idea, if that feels good as a gameplay thing. But that would certainly help with the spawn camping issue. But another thing, yeah, as I said, if they are hurt, we should probably just instantly have them attacking the player. So we're gonna do. The only thing that I'm thinking about is if you have like some sort of. No, but this makes sense. We will set this to true. And yeah, I think that's actually what we need to do. If they are in the process of if they're in the process of spawning, they should also be done spawning, I think. So they should be instantly like awakened to life. Okay, so I think we have something with like set state spawn, and then that ends at some time. So we can just set the state to be maybe idle, or maybe even attacking, but then we need to figure out a bunch of stuff. No, so I think we'll yeah, we'll do this. Or we grab the state, or we can say if state is spawning. Let's do switch. If we are spawning, then we just set end at 2t. Else we don't care right now. Okay. So that will and then yeah, that works. Okay, so that will sort of end the spawning immediately next frame. And you saw there, like, as soon as I attacked, it did some sort of action there. Yeah, that feels a lot better. So even if you, like, rush towards the monster while it's spawning, it can still do its thing there. Yeah, and there I got attacked. So now it feels a lot better for the difficulty there. I mean, yeah, technically you could still like spam. Yeah, okay, I got killed, but I turned around mistakenly. There. Yeah, they can even jump towards you, so even if you try to spam, sometimes they can get you anyway, so especially like if they do a throw, then you can basically just actually this would be a strategy then. They do a throw and then you go forward and kill them after that. Yeah. So I think maybe after they do a throw, they should have a quicker recovery maybe. Or maybe their attacks just has to be faster as well. Okay, well, that was a lot of, I think, a huge improvement to the monsters. We removed stun, and then we also yeah, we got them out of the monster, like the spawn animation. Instantly like spawned when hit. It's still spawning. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this means that we don't really have much to. I mean, I guess I was kind of fixing this issue here. Faster spawn time. We actually did that. Well, actually, we don't have faster spawn time, but we do have. Let's actually do this. Let's move these up here. So let's call this more like monster challenge or monster difficulty, or I don't know. Challenge sounds more like an event that's gonna happen. So faster spawn time, I don't think we need that. This is really nice. This is really nice. And what else? Make some monsters have a special attack only when spawning. So my idea that was they can have maybe some attack that's like as soon as they spawn, they do some defensive measure, like shooting spikes out or something that like prevents you from getting close and just spamming them. But I don't really think we need that for this monster. Counterattack is not really needed because I mean, it could, yeah, it's just gonna be the nature of monsters attacking you and you not being able to stun them. So they will just attack you, and that's it. Not all player attacks should stun the monster. Yeah, so I think maybe some attacks, maybe you can, like, if you are able to hit, maybe some, like, if you get like a heavy attack or some sort of spell that might, like, that you cannot use all the time, so it has to be like balanced. Yeah, let's just have this completed for now. We'll see. I mean, there's still work to do, and there's still, like, we need to make more monsters and stuff. Okay, but anyway, that's gonna be it for this time. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye bye.